Race of the week comes to you from the Spa, Saratoga, and it's a Friday afternoon, and that means it's the Alydar Stakes. Now, a lot of times the winner of this race will go on to the couple of key races later on in the Saratoga meet, like the Jockey Club Gold Cup, and we'll see if any of these horses have that type of ability. But it is a nice field, and a lot of these horses are former graded stakes winners, maybe not at the grade one level. Let's start at the rail. Wooderson tested the deeper waters and the distance waters last time out, trying to go a mile and a quarter. That was a tough suburban field with Preservationist, Catholic Boy, Pavel, and he lost by 28 lengths. You know, his best race was probably his prior two efforts before that. He's still got some upside, I think. His best races tend to be forwardly placed and at the rail on the inside. I think he could figure in this spot. Definitely a contender, Wooderson from the rail. Tom's de Tot is your most likely favorite. He comes out of a couple of bigger races in the Alice Sheba and the Stephen Foster. Now, in the Stephen Foster, he pressed the pace that day. Seeking the Soul ended up getting the win, but that was a solid effort. And then again, he was sent to the lead in the Alice Sheba and was just run down by a better horse in McKenzie. Tom's de Tot is the likely favorite and has several races that can win this race. Definitely one to consider if you are looking strongly at Tom's de Tot. Tour de Force, not as likely of a winner, I think. This one, he's moving up a little bit in class. Been running in some of the restricted Belmont races and facing some smaller fields. I think he faces a bigger field and more pace pressure here for Tour de Force. Golden Brown, another one with back-to-back wins at Monmouth, now moves up to Saratoga and the Spa. Let's see what he can do. Comes off the turf, and he may be a scratch, but he does have a win on the dirt 3 back in May at Monmouth. So definitely another contender. American Tattoo bounced back with a nice win on the dirt the last time out. This 4-year-old, 3 for 5 lifetime, purchased out of Argentina after a couple of big wins last year. And I think this horse might be starting to put it together in America, face some full fields in Argentina. And then first time out, he was really facing some tough horses. I think you definitely have to consider American Tattoo, and he could be one of the likely winners besides Wooderson and Tom's de Tot. Carlino, triple disappointing efforts in his last 3 races. You know, last race lost by 15 in the Suburban, Pamilico Special. You know, he's dropping in class here. Before that, he was in the Jockey Gold Cup last year as a grade 1. So kind of with him, he's trying to just get back to where does he really fit? Is he a grade 3 horse, grade 2 horse? Could run a big race. I guess I'm going to be leaning against Carlino in this spot. Backyard Heaven was 4-1 in his most recent race, lost to Candy Graham, who's back in this race. And I think Backyard Heaven could maybe cycle up to a good effort. Definitely one to take a look at and watch a couple of his replays. Candy Graham, second place last time out behind Prince Lucky, and then won his 2 previous races, including a couple of nice wins at Aqueduct and Belmont. Candy Graham, I think, is probably the second favorite in this race behind possibly Tom's de Tot. So Candy Graham, definitely a strong contender here in the Alydar Stakes. You're to Blame comes off a 5th place finish in a very competitive Brooklyn Invitational. Track was favoring speed that day, though, and especially inside speed. So that effort wasn't too bad. He got himself in position and just couldn't close. Not sure if that was a key race or not, as a few of those horses have ran back and not done well. I think it was just slow fractions, and it was really just kind of a hard race to gauge that day. It was the last race of a long day. Inside was playing well, and I think You're to Blame does have better efforts, but he needs a fair racetrack and he needs some pace up front. That's a look at the Alydar Stakes from the Spa, Saratoga. Remember, hit subscribe. More subscribers, more videos. Leave a comment. Who do you like in the Alydar? And we'll also be previewing the Whitney coming up on Saturday of this week and some other key stakes races from around the country. That's a look at the Alydar. Hit subscribe, and that's a look at the race of the week from Saratoga.